Today we're going to be routing the transmission coolant lines. So as I was working on putting the lower hose in on the radiator, I noticed that we have all these extra fittings, and I was like, man, what are those for? And I'm like, well, it's probably for, like a oil cooler or something like that. And then sure enough, I'm, looking at my transmission going, hey, what are these two openings for? And it was one of those things that, I always knew about transmission coolers for like towing and stuff, because usually they have a separate cooler that they add to the radiator. And so this is actually the first time where I'm like, oh, all transmissions have coolers. I didn't know that. Again, first car that I'm building, things that I'm learning. So I never claimed to be an expert on this channel. This is a learning experience for myself. So I have ordered some nice braided hose. In fact, for the most part, this is really all you could order when it comes to a custom car. Otherwise, everything is like pre-bent wires for a specific model of car. And so I had to buy this stuff, and that way I could route it wherever I need to, and then put these fittings into the transmission and as needed. So we are going to do that today, and hopefully everything lines up. I actually did buy a bunch of rubber insulated clamps, and so I'll be using that on the lines and routing it on the frame. So it's really interesting what happened with the lines going to the transmission. When I went to order the stuff, I got a tape measure out and I measured everything, and I'm like, well, I need a little slack, this and that. And I'm like, hold on, I'm gonna screw myself. Let me go ahead and get like some extra wire that I have and actually route this thing around and then pull the wire out and measure it. And then we got an exact measurement and we're good to go and we'll order. So that's what I did. And then I got the parts in and it was 2 feet too long. I'm like, how did that even happen? I have no idea. And it's like one of the few times that I went out of my way to measure something and it didn't add up at all. So, I took those lines as they were in and measured how much slack there was. And I was like, hey, I'm 2 feet off. And these lines just lined up perfectly. So I'm really excited about that. The only thing I need to do is get little bolts and nylon nuts, lock nuts, so I could get everything nice and braced against the frame, but all rubber shock mounted. So, and I'll get that all with the other ones that I'm doing for the wires inside by the drive shaft too. So I'll get that all at once and do it all at once. at once and all together at once and once again. So in any case, mission accomplished there.